I hereby, whoa, I'm not on. Hello. Hello, hello, hello. I hereby open the regular meeting of the Board of Education of the Chickasha Public School District 26I001. The meeting was properly posted in compliance with the Oklahoma Open Meetings Act 25 OS Sections 301 to 314, and the time is 6 p.m. Item 2, roll call. Here. Here.
Here.
Here. Item 3, Pledge of Allegiance.
Our pledge allegiance by our soccer boys that are in.
United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, good job, Jeremy.
You want to make a statement?
All right.
Hello, hello. Nope, we're still not on. I don't think the lights are. Jennifer, good luck tomorrow. Jennifer, we're still not on.
Test, test. Nope. Hello, hello, hello.
Test, test. We'll just talk loud.
All right, real fast before our guys get out of here. I think I saw a coach. There he is. Coach, could you come up here for just a second? Technical difficulties tonight with the microphone. So anyway, there we go. Hey, it works. This is Coach.
You need him.
First of all, congratulations on making it tomorrow night to the semifinals. That's awesome. You guys played tomorrow night. We are hosting the game against Holland Hall, 6 o'clock tomorrow night. And real fast, if you could introduce, I know there's a lot of them, but this is an amazing accomplishment. Final four. And ladies and gentlemen, they win tomorrow night. They're playing for the state championship a little bit later this week. So while we have them here, let's introduce them real fast. We're just going to stop what we're doing. We're going to introduce these kids and recognize all their hard work and a great season. So Coach, I'm going to turn it over to you.
First off, thanks to everybody. We're so proud to be a part of this community. The support that we've been given by our administration, high school, Coach Gray, that president of the state. It's about everybody. Parents, it's quite a lot. All of the support. Thank you so much. You guys ready to start with the
Hey.
Accomplish a whole lot on the field, but what I really want to point out is we have a cumulative GPA of 3.8.
It's fantastic.
Yes, for sure.
So give it up to these boys for the 3.8.
All right. It's a shameless plug. Tomorrow night, 6 o'clock, soccer field. Come watch the Chicks go to state.
Absolutely.
See you guys. Thank you so much.
Thanks for coming. Item number 4 is recognitions.
And first tonight, we have Chicken Express Employee of the Month, and we're going to let the room clear out just a quick second.
So we can see if they're. we can see who's
Caitlin
here.
is here. I don't know if the Wilkersons are here tonight. Ah, you're here in place of them. All right. So I'm going to let Mona Greenfield introduce Caitlin.
He finds thousands of individuals provide clothing, shoes, all sorts of things that are used to the students and their families. It would be cold, the wind would be out. He cares about these kids. The things about Caitlin that you may find interesting. In her spare time, she likes to design, find herself a vehicle. She's a published author. And she wrote on the OU especially.
I don't know about all of you, but one of the things years ago, everybody said all the way back there. Very for the next thing we want to do is we want to make sure that people recognize people that were making a difference. Also wanted to make sure that students were part of it. So like having the soccer team here tonight, that was very nice. Because board meetings should all be about just kids, or parents, or staff. Tonight we get to recognize a very special group of people that have come up with this version. I think that's pretty amazing. These small group of people, about 6, have built this for a substantial. Definitely tell a little bit about this. We want to, so why not? So if my fingers say been here this long.
They deserve it.
So the first person tonight that I want to introduce I understand that. What we have, Polo, usually how long it goes. Well, different parts. Students first. Now, on the 34 years. I sent out an email to all of them. Talk to yourself. She's like, do I have to?
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
Miss Murray, how many years ago? 40 seconds. I'm only 41. Gotta go here. First time I heard it, I stopped dead. Good enough, and I asked. How long have you been with this? 30 years. Tell me, out of every what's been your most memorable moment? You're on the spot. No. Don't think about it. Get back. Ladies and gentlemen, all right.
Right.
All of you know this, sir. I would say you probably know every kid. Thank you very much.
So, all right, what all have you done about this 41? Ladies and gentlemen, this is a group of people. Think about it. Well, kids have lived. All of you are very special. Run away as fast. All right, thank you all very much.
Thank you.
There was Emily Cerny Day. Now it's Miss Cerny Day.
There you go.
That's right. Tell her. What? That now you can tell her, like, well, today's Monday. And she's a great coach, though. She is a great coach, too.
Comment.
Item number 5, public comment. We have none. Item 6 is the superintendent's report.
All right, well, congratulations to Caitlin Verser for being named Chicken Express Employee of the Month. She does an amazing job. You heard just some of the things that from Mona over that she does over there as our social worker. And she's been a great addition to the district this year. Once again, I want to invite everyone to come out to the soccer game tomorrow night, 6 o'clock at the field. We play Holland Hall, and we have a great team and very excited. Now, ticket prices. This is an OSSA event, not a district event. So ticket prices are $7 online or $10 at the gate. So that's we have to do OSSA ticket prices for this game. I do want to say congratulations to all of our teams on a great spring season. Baseball made it to regionals. Track competed at the state track meet. Golf competed at state tournament. Girls tennis played at the state tournament. Boys tennis is at regionals, and girls soccer had a great season as well. We've had a fun season, and I know that our relay team at state came in 3rd. That is correct. I think it was 3rd. Is that right? Yep. And so just very proud of them all, and looking forward to what the future holds, but it's been a fun, busy spring season.
We're talking about OSSA and classes.
Oh, yeah. Tonight, in just a couple of minutes, you're going to hear a presentation on our strategic plan that has been in development during the school year. And so I have some of our community committee, I'm going to say it right one of these days, community committee members here tonight. So if you've been on the community committee, if you would just stand real fast, we'd like to recognize you. Yep. They have given up, thank you very much. They have given up a lot of time, a lot of hours. They have been meeting with us. I think we've had 6 meetings, and they have really helped us put this thing together. Ms. Hyder from the OSSBA is going to be talking here and presenting it to the board, and then our board will be considering adopting it tonight. Their last meeting will be on Friday, May 13th of this week, and after that, we will put it in all gears going forward, and seeing what we do over the next 5 years is going to be very exciting. Graduation is Friday, May the 20th at 7 p.m. at the Activity Center. We're very excited to celebrate the class of 2022, and so you're all welcome to join us Friday night, May 20th, at 7 o'clock at the Activity Center. And congratulations to our seniors. Summer school classes will begin on Monday, May 23rd. So there's no rest for the weary there. And it's going to run through Friday, June 10th Parents, please sign up your students by contacting your school's main office. And we are quickly approaching the end of the school year. The last day of class is Thursday, May 19th. So have a great summer break, and we will be ready for next school year before you know it. That's it.
Item 7, discussion and possible action regarding continuous strategic improvement plan.
So it is my pleasure tonight to introduce Ms. Stephanie Hyder from the Oklahoma State School Board Association, and she is going to be talking about our strategic plan.
All right, very good. Great, hear me okay? So it's so great to see you all. I love coming to Chickasha. One of the things that strikes me every time I'm here are the number of alumni that you all have graduated and come back and still remain committed to your district. And I think that's just awesome. Congratulations to you all long-termers. And I thought it was really exciting. You should have a lot of hope for long-term for your soccer team because you're really heavy in freshmen and sophomores. So that's what you want. It's like you're bringing them up when they're young. So Sharon and Tracy from the K-20 Center has spent a ton of time with you all, and they wanted me to express their apologies for not being able to be here. They had a conflict. That's one of the positive things about working with a good team is somebody can pick it up when the other person can't. So one of the things I wanted just to share with you really quickly, and you can see it up here on the screen, is we began working with the district in August of last year on this 4-phase planning model. And I just really quickly want to talk you through kind of each of the phases. And as we go through this, Jennifer is going to kind of put the different pages up on the board. And I know you don't have a copy of the book, but once this is approved, it will be on your website somewhere. Rick, I'm not going to tell them where. I'll let you get that figured out when you're there. But once it's there, you can jump in and be able to really peruse it yourself at your leisure. But I just wanted to point out a couple of things about the process and how we work through things. The first thing for all of you to understand is we are very committed, as well as Chickasha was very committed to making sure that this was stakeholder-driven plan. So in our first phase, which is called Engage, we spend a lot of time collecting stakeholder feedback. We collect that through online surveys, and then we collected it through a variety of face-to-face community forums. So when you finish phase 1, part of what we were able to identify on page 13, all of that data revealed for us what your learner expectations were for the graduates at Chickasha, as well as really what your core beliefs and values were about public education in general. So you can look on page 13 and you can see some of the things there that through the surveys and through the focus groups, you all said was going to be very, very important to you. Thank you. And these are in priority order. So these are in the way that we had more comments towards one versus the other. So as you can see, kind of the top 2 things for your learner expectations for all of your graduates is your expectation is they have really good, strong life skills. They have great, effective communication skills, and they have a mastery of their core content as well as other items. Your core beliefs, what you are hoping and believing for your system itself is that there needs to be strong family support around your students, that they need to be really focused on relevant content, learning how to be collaborative with each other and others, and again, have that mastery of those basic skills. And then the last piece was the core values. Again, if you kind of just look at the top of that you all really showed that you value respectful and nurturing environments for your students to go to school in. And that's in the classroom, that's in the hallway, that's on the field, right? You really value quality teachers and your quality buildings and school grounds, as well as your quality programs. So this document and this research is so important because it's the foundation of every single thing that the plan is built upon. So for those of you that were in on the planning team, how many times did we say, where does this fit? Did we refer you back to this a lot? 10 times, 10 or 12 or 35 times, right? Because this is what your stakeholders have said is important. And so it's really important that the text that we include, the direction that we're going, can be tied to what your stakeholders said is important. So that is the information and kind of how we work through that first phase. When we get into the second phase, which is the planning phase, this is really where kind of the rubber meets the road. It was an opportunity to bring the community members together along with school staff and have some conversations about where are we? If we know who we are from doing that phase one engage, then where are we now? What is that going to look like? And that was 2 days of extremely intense data study, right? Data analysis. Nod your heads yes. Your brains thought they were going to explode by the time we finished that, right? Ours did too. But what's really exciting is once you finish that, you finish that phase two and you have your goal areas and objectives. So if you want to flip to page 14 and 15, Jennifer, perfect. So through that study of the data, there were 4 primary goal areas that were identified. The first was student achievement. The second, culture and community. The third, personnel. And the fourth, resources. And so as you can see, as Jennifer's kind of scrolling through those, with each of those goal areas, there are objectives that support that. And those are complete from the stakeholder information as well as the school data. So this is not something that Mr. Crosland came in and said, I've got to see this in plan. And this wasn't something anyone else influenced. These goal areas and objectives are strictly based on the data from your stakeholders and the information from your school. So I think that's something you should feel real confident about, that it is going in the right direction based on the data pieces that you have. And then we get to the third phase, which is the big question that we ask there is, well, if we know who we are and we know where we are because we've studied the data, then phase 3 asks the big question and kind of pushes us to that answer of, so where do we want to go? If this is where we are, where do we want to go? And then the bigger question is, how are we going to know when we get there? And this again is data driven. So the team members put their heads together and they were able to, let me see, what page do I have that on, Jennifer? 23 is one of the first pages of that, okay? So it's a matter of, for those team members to come together and make the decision, if this is where we are now, in 5 years, where do we want it? And what does that look like in 1 year increments, and how we get there? So you may be wondering about the to be determined. Rick, do you want to comment on that?
So we are using the spring test scores from this testing session that we're in right now will be our baseline data. We will actually be asking for this subcommittee that worked on student achievement to get back together with us, and then we will set our goals using this year's baseline data. The data they had to look at was from when we had been in and out of school with over 1,000 different quarantines throughout a school year from COVID. And it just wasn't, I don't think it was very indicative of who we are and where we're at. So we'd like to bring this group back together once we have this baseline this year, and we'll talk with them and then we'll go from there and develop those out.
Yep, absolutely. And so again, that's the important thing to notice, and for Rick and you all as a team to realize is that as you are working through this process, your goals and objectives for these 5 years, they're going to stay the same because those are data driven. But your initiatives and your action steps and things of that nature, that can be fluid, as well as your timeline, because as Rick said, you just don't know what is going to happen in the middle of those times. And so it's very smart decision for them to wait and get this year's test scores in and then be able to move forward from that. So another area I wanted to show you, Jennifer, if you'll flip over to page 31, let's take a look at culture and community, because most of those have got numbers in them. That kind of lets you look at that. So here's how these things work. Here's what this performance measure would sound like. The first one is, so by the end of 2027, we would like 100% of our sites to have parent-teacher organizations according to your program data. So currently, we know that 60% of the district has some type of parent-teacher organization. And you can see incrementally, let's just grow that a little bit at a time so that by the time we get to 26, 27, all of our sites have that. So that's how those measurement pieces work. It's like, this is where we are. What do we want it to look like going forward? And then, as Rick said, the final piece of this, essentially, when we finished phase 3, and we answered those questions about where we wanted it to go and how do we know when we're going to get there. Essentially, that's the report. We have a box of them here. Like I said, they'll end up being on the district website. Once the board approves the plan, then we come back, as Rick mentioned, on Friday, and we are going to work with each of your building leadership teams and some of your teacher leaders to help them understand, if they weren't on the planning team, what does the full picture look like? What does the Chickasha Public School strategic plan look like? Let's help your buildings and those that weren't involved in the planning process understand what that looks like. And then we take that a step further and work with those leadership teams, and we'll help them build a plan within the plan. And so your elementary schools will have an implementation plan that supports the overall plan. So will your middle schools, and so will your high schools. And part of the power of that is knowing that each of your buildings are unique and different. And you can have an overall district plan, but perhaps how your individual buildings get there may look different based on their uniqueness. And that's where it's going to be really important that you can personalize those individual implementation plans to be able to support your entire district. In addition to that, we'll be working with Rick and his leadership team all the way through the buildings to help develop an accountability plan. So how are you all as the board going to know on a month-to-month basis what is happening within your strategic plan? And that will be something that we'll work on. What does that flow of information look like? So if the teacher accomplishes a piece and that information gets to the principal, how's that information get to the board so they can go, yeah, we checked that off. We're just checking that off the list. So we'll be working with them on developing what that looks like on Friday too. The other thing, and Rick may make a decision on which way he wants this to look, but there will actually be a digital scorecard, so to speak, with all of these pieces of information in it. And the district can make the decision about what is that going to look like out to the public and reporting to the public. These are the things that we've done and this is where we are. So we really want to work to try and continue to maintain that level of transparency that we've started, but really important to keep that going throughout all of the phases of the plan from then on. So questions from anyone? No?
Well, no, I'd say from a board perspective, I want to thank everybody that participated along the way. I think it's really important to, it's hot. Really important to have a strategic plan, helps guide the decision so everything doesn't feel like it's a decision on an island. And it took a huge amount of effort. So everybody that was on the committees, 5+ full days, I want to thank them. Admin team getting information together, Stephanie and OSSBA, and then the ladies at the K-20 Center. So it's a lot of work, but that helps us make sure that every decision we make is fitting the overall objective, and it doesn't make every single thing an individual decision on its own. So I want to thank everybody for all the hard work. The board, yeah, we spent like 3 hours in a work session going over this. So yeah, we've been through this with a comb, so we're just not rubber stamping. We wouldn't have mattered. Our team did a great job anyway on this. And so looking forward to it. So I want to thank everybody for their hard work.
One of the things you didn't cover that I think is really important in here is that there's a building and maintenance, there's planned for the 5 years to maintain our buildings and improve our buildings and things like that. So like I said, it kind of covers everything in the district. It isn't just academic. It's not just parents. It's all kinds of relationships and the buildings and everything. So it's very comprehensive.
It is. And so while, as you're looking through that, there'll be mention of physical resource plan, like financial plan, technology plan, infrastructure. And some of that is difficult to flesh out in the full strategic plan, but the idea is it's been identified that it needs to happen. So that again is going to kind of be that plan of development within what that means. But it gives the board some real strong direction about which way to go. So, thank you.
All right, I'd make a motion to approve the continuous strategic improvement plan.
I second that motion. Lift.
Motion McGill, second Clift. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Yes.
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 Okay, so we're going to take a quick, just, I don't know, time out on a board meeting. I don't know if you can do that. So that's what we're going to do here. I have asked Pastor Michael Butler to come up. And I made no reservations about my faith ever since I've been your superintendent. And one of the things we do is we always bless our school year at the beginning of every school year. And I've asked Pastor Butler to bless our plan. It's got a lot of things in it for us to do over the next 5 years. There's been a lot of time spent on it already. And I just think that it would be an appropriate step for us to have a blessing placed on this work that we're going to be doing. So, Pastor.
And possible action regarding memorandum of understanding between South Central Oklahoma Workforce Board and Chickasha Public Schools.
So this is really MOU, we're just, I think it's renewal, isn't it, Dr. Johnson? This is, I'm sorry. This is a renewal pretty much, isn't it? Yep. They provide a working agreement between the Southwest, SCOWB, sorry, South Central Oklahoma Workforce Board. They do a working relationship that benefits our students from across the community and requiring training and opportunities for work placement. They're housed over at Southwest, and I think they have that first office when you walk in there. And so it's a great program, great service, and I just recommend approval of this tonight.
I move that we approve the memorandum of understanding between South Central Oklahoma Workforce Board and the Chickasha Public Schools.
Second, Alan.
We had a motion by Clift and a second by Allen. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Yes.
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 Yes. Item number 9, discussion and possible action regarding revised board policy DI leave.
Ms. Ladyman, I'm going to pitch this one to you.
Okay. Make a motion to approve this revision, board policy DI leave.
Second, Clift.
Motion McGill, second Cliff. Any further discussion? Thanks for all your hard work. That sounded like a lot of homework.
Figuring.
Roll call.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Item number 10, discussion and possible action regarding new job description, instructional resource specialist.
So we have been having conversations about how we can take care of two very unique areas in our district of I don't know, oversight, whatever it might be. So the first one is, and this also kind of falls in line with the strategic plan of helping and working with our teachers that are working on their emergency or alternative placements, or alternative certifications for becoming a certified teacher. As you all know, we're in a teacher shortage in the state of Oklahoma. Emergency certifications are increasing every year. We're at over 3,000 emergency certified teachers across the state of Oklahoma. Recently, I did a paper on administrators being emergency certified, and the number of emergency certified administrators in the state of Oklahoma has gone up considerably over the past 3 years itself. So it's a very real trend that's happening, and we somehow have got to be able to shore up helping our staff members that we hire that have to go down these alternative paths or emergency certification pathway. Pam is over personnel. She does a great job, but that in top with everything else, this is something that we felt like needed a little bit more attention than what's available inside of her normal day. The other side of this is virtual online learning. Ladies and gentlemen, is pretty much here to stay. Pandemic really pushed that forward. And while we do not have high numbers, we really kept the numbers low this year. We could have easily have doubled our numbers of students enrolled. And you want to be able to have a system in place where you can monitor their progress, make sure that they are doing their work, that they're being productive, and moving forward in earning their grades or their credits if they're a high school student towards being successful in that school year. But you have to have a plan and you have to have a system in place. So we've kind of taken both of those and we pushed this together for an instructional resource specialist position. And this is us giving it a try just to see. We want to find the right person. There are a few preferences we have with this position. We would like for it to be someone that is certified currently to be an administrator. We would like for them to already have years experience as an administrator. And that's just so simply, they have experience working with teachers on certifications and those type of things and helping that process move forward. There will be working with some students and parents on the virtual side of things, but we really see this more of a 60-40 kind of a split, 60% working over here on the certification side of it, 40% on the student side. So we have drafted this job description after looking through some other school districts and kind of how they put things together. And so tonight we present to you this job description for an instructional resource specialist for your consideration. And yeah, there you go. That's the short of it. Ms. Lademan, did I miss anything on that?
And those would be kids in state custody, right? Okay.
You already give a number of how many children currently are overseeing already in this capacity?
For the online,
Well, for, which would be the totality of what this job, as we currently have, for what this job would be absorbing.
so this year we could have easily doubled our numbers. We held our numbers low on the virtual online piece.
Right.
At around 25. For Southwest Houston Family, I'm not sure how many kids we normally have over there. Yep.
So do we plan on growing all those? I mean, not plan on, we plan on growing the enrollment side of that if we can? Is that what I
We will the
understand?
virtual side.
Okay.
Southwest Houston Family, they have a contract with us. We have no say over.
Right,
how they
that
do
part I
that.
understand.
But on the virtual side, yes, we would. But before we expand that, we
Mhm.
need to make sure we get some things in line and in place.
Sure.
What kills me, and I'm just gonna be open about it, and if it gets me in the news, so be it. It kills me that we lose kids to other online charter school districts.
Mhm.
They go out there, they're with them 1 week, 2 weeks, 2 months, they'll come back to us, and they've done nothing.
Right.
And I've got principals back there that can attest to this almost at every grade level. And then these kids are not just behind, they're way behind in a school year. And then it comes to us where we have to somehow get them caught up. And we have got to shore up our part and somehow, I don't know, this bleeding to online charter schools is just driving me nuts. If there were quality online charter schools, and I said quality, then that might be a different, but they're not. Sorry, Epic. But I'm tired of it. And we're the ones that have to come in and.
Isn't the law gonna change too, though, that if you're, like in the district, and not a proposed law that like if you're in the district and you need to go to the district online?
So they're
that
making it,
might
they're
lose
making
the
it to
first
where
one?
you can transfer into a district for the online enrollment
You
only.
can't, right?
You can't right now, and
Okay.
now they're making it.
Oh,
where
I
you
thought it
can.
was the opposite. I
Mm-mm.
thought they were making
No.
it where you can't.
So,
Okay.
and all that's fine. And like I've said, I've never been one that has a problem with school choice. I don't have a problem with that because it's America. Just get used to it. The thing is that if I'm going, I want apples to apples and oranges to oranges. And I'm tired of losing kids to programs that are out there that's basically after enrollment numbers for money. And then they come back to us and then we have to somehow fix a problem that's completely out of our control. So we're just going to continue to improve our online experience and hold firm that we have the best thing going and we're just going to make sure that it's better.
So is this the piece you feel that we've been?
We've
on
got to get
capture that back?
the structure, we've got to get the structure down. So what we had from last year to this year, we don't have the 600 kids enrolled. And I don't want to have 600 kids enrolled
Right.
in it. When we did that, we had to do multiple layers in there. This year, we've been able to scale back. So it's been monitored by each site, but folks, our sites are running 90 to nothing, 26 hours a day. There's only 24 hours in a day. I mean, they are running every which way they can. The challenges of this school year with kids being out because of the pandemic and other things, and people can say that's an excuse, it's reality.
Mhm.
And our teachers are being asked to catch kids up on gaps of learning gaps. And our principals are dealing with things that they just shake their heads and go, I've never seen this in my 20 or 30 something years of being in education. So we want to shore up and have those supports where we can pull some stuff out of the buildings. And we just feel like this presents an opportunity to be able to do that in these two areas. Take off some of the stress of trying to keep up with all their emergency certifications with staff. And then at the same time, we'll have somebody else working on the virtual side of things. They'll be in touch with those homeschools, but their plan is to help monitor it and alleviate some of that stress. So it's a specialist. It's a little bit different. We put that specialist title on there because we are looking for someone
Mhm.
with administrative experience.
Where
And
will they be housed out of? Where will they?
we've been
showing?
debating on where we're going to house them, but they'll either be out of this building or they'll be out of the enrollment center. It'll be
Okay,
one of the
because I
two.
see those duties are getting.
Yeah. So they'll be out of
all
one of
over
those
the
two
place.
places. We might have to build an office, whatever. We'll come up with it, but we need them there just so we can start addressing these things because these are real situations and real issues in education today that are only getting bigger,
This
unfortunately.
is a large job description.
It is.
It's very large.
It's a lot. So,
It's a
I'm-
starting point, though.
Mhm. Needs to be done, and that's how we can also help kids that are going to be enrolled somewhere else and expected to do things, we can help them out.
I move that we approve the instructional resource specialist job description.
Second, Alan.
Motion Cliff, second Allen. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Yes.
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 Yes. Item number 11. By the way, nice new letterhead.
You like that?
I did.
I like that new letterhead. Pretty awesome.
Okay, item 11, discussion and possible action regarding Chickasha Home Run Club donation.
Coach Bray, you're up, sir.
That's awesome. Any further discussion?
Nope. Make a motion to approve the Chickasha Home Run Club donation.
Second, Alan.
Motion McGill, second Allen. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Will you teach me how to drive it?
Yes.
I've always wanted to learn. I might be out there. Sorry, where are we?
We're on
Yes.
roll call.
Yes.
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 Let's go.
Yes.
Yes.
Thanks.
Item number 12
Thanks,
would
home run.
be the consent agenda.
Mine are answered. I don't have any questions. Mhm.
That time of year. Time of year.
Mhm.
Anything that's a change in services, a new contract, a lot of it look like renewals and things like that. So is there anything out of the ordinary? I saw the scope of services change with the K-9 inspection. I can't remember the exact name, but I know, I saw that
Yeah.
expanded a little bit because of the use and how much we use. Yeah.
Yeah,
took advantage
we're
of that.
using
Saw
them
that.
more and newsflash, we'll be using them even more.
Can we just buy a dog?
Oh, we just buy a dog?
Yeah.
And an officer. to
I
go
am
with it.
glad to hear that. Thank you.
Change order 11, quadrant leasing. I just wondered what that was.
Quadrant.
Postage. Everything in the world's gone up, but that one didn't ring a bell for me. And I was like, so what else went up? Postage, that's what went up. And then
About to go up some
12,
more.
yes, about
It's-
to go up some more.
yeah.
And then 12 on the heat and air. I'm sure ESSER money. And so the quotes that we started with, by the time we got the quotes and actually got the installation, we're that far off. What I'm gonna guess.
Yeah, that's what this one was.
Yeah, I mean, it's just struggling with the whole, people don't understand, you get the quote, and 30 days
Being
later, when you
off,
can finally
yeah.
get the paperwork done, the price has gone up.
Mhm.
So when you see change orders on these board agendas, you all understand when you go to the grocery store, the change order that you do every month in your checkbook. You're gonna, if time is going to tell a true story, you're gonna begin to see these regularly. Because when
Wish we could
we
lock
have to
them
put
in.
on a purchase order before we can purchase, and then by the time we get the paperwork done and we make the purchase, the price has gone up. And then by law, we have to come back and do these. So I just wanted to do a commercial for change orders. There's 4 on the agenda this month, and there'll be more on each future agenda, the way things are going. So thanks for that. Do you have a finance report that you want to share? Good. What have we over collected approximately in gross production? Would you ballpark? That's what I'm thinking. It'll take it off the top next year. So we're planning for that. That's where I'm going. We have a plan to carry over more than $1 million because $1 million is coming off the top next year. So, and that's a lot of money. Another public service announcement, when you see that carryover and you think, wow, we got lots of money. No, we're gonna lose $1 million next year because we over collected $1 million this year. So. They tell us what they think we're gonna collect, and if we over collect that, then they take it away from us. So we've collected $1 million more in ad valorem than they told us we were going to. So we'll lose that next year. So it's a fun game, a fun game,
Fun, she said.
a fun game. Milk contract, no trouble with that. We don't either, but
If
it's
you let
in
it
like
sit there too
every,
long, it gets bad, so we gotta
every
prove it
third
tonight.
email I get these days is about how hard it is to find milk. And I'm like, I don't know why we're fortunate, but I don't think anybody in this area is having trouble finding milk, are we? Yeah. The milk emails just roll in. They have milk consortiums that you can join so that you have a big enough order to get your milk. So once again, we're fortunate that we have milk. Yeah. Anybody else want to add any to the consent agenda? All right.
I move that we accept the consent agenda.
Second, Alan.
Motion Cliff, second Allen. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Yes.
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 Yes. Okay. Item number 13, discussion and possible action regarding proposed executive session to discuss employing, hiring, resignation of individual salary public officers or employees listed on Exhibit A.
Make a motion to convene into executive session.
Second, Clift.
Motion McGill, second Cliff.
Run for the hills.
Now's your time.
Roll call.
Thank you, everyone.
Yes.
Alan?
Yes.
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 Thanks, everyone, for coming.
Thank you, thank you.
Everyone but Miss Ladyman, please do not leave, Miss Ladyman.
We are back. There it is. The board entered into executive session at 7 PM to discuss the hiring, resignations, and retirements of individual salaried public officers or employees listed on Exhibit A as authorized by 25 OS Section 307B1. Thus present in executive session were Zach McGill, Robin Morse, Kara Gertis, Christy Cliff, Laurie Allen, Superintendent Rick Crosland, and Executive Director Pam Ladyman. No action was taken by the Board of Ed. Board returned to open session at 7:34. Item number 15, discussion and possible action regarding the hiring of individuals listed on Exhibit A. There are a couple of changes. We need to, you ready for this? We need to add Angela Harper Ellison as a speech pathologist assistant at Bill Wallace as a hire. We need to change we said we weren't going to mess with sites. Let's see, is there another hire?
We changed the header. The header.
Samantha Scott,
Our TA.
yeah. Perfect. So it looks like we have 2 changes on the
Okay.
hire.
I move that we.
And one more. And we're recommending James Hall, boys basketball.
Didn't mark that one.
Yeah.
Okay,
I move that we hire the individuals listed on Exhibit A with the mentioned changes.
Second.
motion Cliff, second McGill. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Yes.
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 Yes. Item number, it went off. 16, discussion and possible action regarding the transfer reassignment workday adjustments for individuals listed on Exhibit A. And I think we had one site change that was wrong. And that's okay, because we can hire, we reassigned her anyway, so.
Yeah. So the position was correct in the name and the date.
Yep.
So make a motion to approve transfer reassignment workday adjustments for individuals listed on Exhibit A.
Second Cliff.
Motion McGill, second Clift. Further discussion and roll call.
Yes.
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 Yes. Item 17, discussion and action regarding the resignation of individuals listed on Exhibit A.
I move that we accept the resignations of individuals listed on Exhibit A.
Motion Cliff, second Allen. Roll call.
Yes.
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 Yes. Item 18, discussion and possible action regarding the retirement of individuals listed on Exhibit A. Do we have any retirements?
I don't think-
we had.
I don't
We
think we
had
had
some
any retirements.
resignations. I don't remember any retirement because there was a question about that. So double check real quick.
Everything was a resignation.
We
I believe
have
so.
extra duty? Nope.
so
Okay,
none.
item 19, new business. No new business. Item 20.
I move that we adjourn.
Second, Gertis.
Motion Cliff, second Gertis. Roll call.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Come on.
Sure, let's adjourn.
All right, that's a wrap.